I want to do bit of reflection on something that happened a few days ago when the IPL ended and the winning party, a winning team, held a celebration in their home stadium. And a huge number of people turned up to see the members of the winning team. In particular, they wanted to see one person named Virat Kohli. So, in their eagerness to see him and his team members, a huge number of people forgot about their own safety. And in the process, eventually, we know what happened. Some 11 people were killed, many others were injured too. And among the people who were killed, there were also small children. And these people are not some soldiers in a war or something, they're just people like you and me. So, if you reflect a little bit on this incident, we realize that we want happiness, no doubt. Happiness is what we all seek, and we can sometimes go out of our way to seek happiness. We forget the risks to our life. And one aspect, very important aspect of seeking happiness in this world is that often we need to compete with others for happiness. It's some kind of a limited sum game or a zero sum game where if I become happy, then someone else has to sacrifice their happiness because there is a limited amount of resource available, the resource which I'm seeking to gain my happiness. Like in this context, the resource was the space in the stadium. So everybody wants to be in the stadium, but the stadium cannot hold that many people, or at least the entrance to the stadium cannot accommodate so many people at the same point of time. So there is limited space. Everybody wants that space at the same time. And so if one person gets it, somebody else is denied that space. And with this competition, some people even lose their lives. There is ultimately misery. The eagerness for happiness is so high that it concludes in a very bad kind of misery. So, the nature of happiness in this world, like in the fifth chapter, Bhagavad-gita says, Yehi samsparshaja bhogaha dukkha yonaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. The nature of happiness in this world, which comes from the contact of the senses with the sense objects, is such that eventually it can lead to misery, or it does lead to misery in some form. Of course, if we take it in moderation with caution, careful indulgence, the misery can be controlled to something that's very tolerable. But like you see in this kind of an incident, when there is euphoria, there's excitement driving us to that particular kind of happiness, then we lose all control and we end up in extreme misery. Now, the Bhagavad Gita makes us aware not only that sensual pleasure leads to misery. If it made us aware only of that thing, then that would be, what's the point in just telling us there is suffering? The real purpose of Bhagavad Gita is not to just show that, but to tell us that real happiness exists. And for that happiness, we don't have to compete with anybody. In fact, everybody can get the happiness together, and the more the people are who together go towards that happiness, everyone's happiness increases. That is the nature of that kind of happiness. That is real happiness. And where is that available? You don't have to go to a stadium. You don't have to go anywhere for it. It's right inside us. It's right within us. We need to learn how to look inside us. So, if we learn how to look within, then we can discover that happiness. And one person discovering the happiness does not deny the happiness to anybody else. There is no competition there, there is cooperation. We can share with each other the experiences of that happiness which we find looking inside, inspire others. It's just like one candle can light a million other candles. In the same way, this process of getting happiness within can actually be so infectious that millions of people, if it is properly transmitted, can also experience that happiness. That is Bhagavad Gita. That is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. And what is the process of looking within? The process of looking within is the process known as yoga. Yoga means connecting with that entity within. So, who is the entity within? That is ourself. Ourself, and within us, there is Bhagavan, the supreme being, the universal being. In simple words, God. Okay, so God or the universal being is inside all of us, each one of us.